What if the secret to turning back the clock wasn't some expensive fad, but something you could unlock within your own body starting today? It's a compelling idea, and it's more real than you might think. You see, after the age of 30, a silent process begins in all of us. We can lose up to 8% of our own muscle mass each and every decade. At first, it's unnoticeable, but over time, this gradual decline quietly steals our strength and compromises our balance. Everyday activities like rising from a sofa, carrying groceries, or keeping up with the family can start to feel more difficult. It's a slow creep that can make us feel older than we are, limiting our freedom and our confidence. But here's the empowering truth. This is not a one-way street. It is absolutely possible to stop this process and even to reverse it. The simple act of building strength is one of the most effective strategies for a longer, more capable life. Now, a landmark Harvard study highlighted a profound connection between older adults who regularly perform resistance training aren't just strong, they are significantly less likely to die from any cause. Now, let that sink in. So here are 5 science-backed moves to Benjamin Button you back to a biologically younger you. First, the squat is the king of anti-aging moves, strengthening the muscles you use every time you stand up. So we're going to be starting with a chair. First of all, you're going to be sitting on the edge of the chair, keeping your knees nice and wide, chest nice and tall. And then from there, we're going to lean forward with our arms, making sure your head goes over your feet or your toes. Maybe remember nose over toes. And we're going to go up and then slowly down. Now you can play around with the feet position as well. If you have your feet closer together, it means that you're going to be working the quads on the outside of the legs a bit more. So from there, you would probably feel more quad activity on the outside together with some glutes and hamstring, but the majority of the effort is going to be through the outside of the quads. Now, if we open them up a little bit further, it's going to be more centered around the middle of the quads, slightly towards the inside. So you can play around with feet position and see which one works better for you. Now, it's going to do 8 to 10, and this is 4. Breathe in, and always breathe out on effort. 5, slowly down, hold. Remember, we want to build muscle and challenge those hormones. There's another thing about squats, why it is the king of anti-aging exercises, is because it boosts hormones as well as your metabolic hormones. 9, let's go for one more. And 10, and relax and rest. So again, the reason why squats is the king of anti-aging exercises, not only does it boost your hormone levels, your growth hormone, if you're a man, testosterone is very good for you, but also for women, your metabolic hormones. If you are diabetic or you are insulin resistant, squats is a great alternative to get your hormones back into balance, build muscle, and make your cells more sensitive to insulin. Now, you can also use weights. If you feel that 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 is too easy for you, you can add whichever mode of weights you've got. You can use dumbbells, 1 or 2 dumbbells. You can use a weighted 3 kilogram ball, or maybe 5.5, 6 pounds. Or you can use a kettlebell to actually add more resistance, which will then multiply the effect of your squat. So I'm going to just use a kettlebell to demonstrate. From there, I'm going to bring the kettlebell up to my chest, keeping my elbows tucked in. I'm still leaning forward and I'm still breathing out. 1, breathe in and down. I'm not letting the kettlebell move away from my chest. I'm trying to keep it as close to my center of gravity as possible. 3, I'm going to do 4, and then I'll show you that you can hang the kettlebell as well, and sit and go, and 2 more. Breathe in and out. 7. Now you can also move the chair away if you find, and relax, that the chair is a bit too high. You can move the chair away and maybe use something lower to support yourself. Aim for 3 sets of 8. Once that becomes easy, perform these exercises without a chair. So next up is the reverse lunge for balance. So stepping backward is often safer for the knees, and it's excellent for activating your glutes, which are key for better balance and preventing falls. So let's get started. So I've got the chair for support, hand on the chair, the outside hand. So from there, nice and tall spine, I'm going to shift my leg backwards, slightly out towards the side and not behind the front leg. So what you want to do is lean forward, slide down, go down as far as you can. Try to put the back knee as close to the floor as possible, if not on the floor if you can. Come back up again, breathe out, and again, breathe in. If you only feel you can make it halfway, that's perfectly fine. Still lean slightly forward so you feel the glutes and the quads all doing their work. And breathe in, and out, that's 3. So what we're doing is we are training the legs unilaterally, meaning we make sure that both legs are enjoying equal weight distribution so that you don't favor the one leg over the other. Let's go for 8. Breathe in and out, and 2 more. Leaning forward, keeping the chest up. 9, and last one, always keeping my hand next to the chair, and 10. And for support. Now we're going to change to the other side. I'll show from behind. Nice tall spine. Take a deep breath in. Slide the foot back slightly wider. And that's 1. And 2. Again, only going as low as you feel comfortable. If you can only go partially, that is fine. You can do a partial lunge like that, still keeping a little bit of support on the chair. 6, let's go for last 4. Breathe in and out. We're strengthening all the muscles needed for balance, building muscle, building strength. Let's go for 2 more. And also working those hormones, getting them to flow. 9, and last 1. And hold for a few seconds just to keep a little bit of tension on there. And 10. And relax. So next up is the modified push-up. And I'm going to be doing this on my countertop, which you can also do on your kitchen countertop at home. Now from there, we're going to stand with our hands shoulder width apart, and we're going to keep our feet a little bit away from the counter, and then we're going to rise up onto our toes a little bit. Okay, so just to create tension throughout the body. So I want you to almost be in a plank position with your arms straight. You've got this angle that you're leaning up against the kitchen counter, which you can modify by moving closer or further away. Then from there, an important fact about this counter push-up, I want your elbows to be tucked into your sides like that. I don't want you to flare up your arms to the side like that. That can be quite uncomfortable on the shoulders. And also we want to work the triceps as well as the chest. So I want you to keep your elbows tucked in all the time. So it's going to look something like this. From there, I'm onto my toes. As I'm moving down, I'm going to take a deep breath in and breathe out. That's 1. Breathe in and out. So the kitchen counter is touching just below my chest, almost between my stomach and my chest. That's 4. Breathe in and out. 5. And we're also going to go for 8 to 10. And out. 6. Keeping the belly button nice and tight. Keeping the chest up, everything straight. 7. Let's go for 3 more. Breathe in and out. 8. And last 2. This is really burning the triceps and the shoulders. 9. And last 1. Breathe in and out. And 10. And relax. And that is your modified push-up. I want you to do 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. So now we're moving up to super anti-aging exercise number 4, and that is the back bridge. So let's get into our position, flat on our backs. Try to get your heels as close to your fingertips as possible. So from there, we're going to pull the belly button in, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to push through your heels as high as you can. Now, if you've got tight quads or if you've had knee replacement, you might find you're only lifting up to that position there, which is okay. You'll probably feel it pulling on the thighs. that is okay. But what I want you to work on is get those glutes to work and push you through as high up as you can until your knee, your hip, and your shoulder is in a straight line, and then come back down again. Breathe in and out. That's 2. And belly button nice and tight. Try to keep your spine from moving. You're keeping everything from your shoulders to your hips locked in position. And the only place you are hinging from are your hip joints. 8. Let's go for 2 more. 9. Breathe out. Last one. And 10. Give it a good squeeze at the top. And slowly down. Now we're going to add a resistance. I've got a 5 kilogram dumbbell, probably about 10 pounds. And I'm going to put this on my lap. And now I'm going to repeat this exercise with extra resistance. Breathe in and out. 3. Now I can really feel these glutes are working. 4. My core is now really engaged. It's really trying hard not to let go of anything. 5 and 5 more. 6. So you can place pretty much anything on your lap. It could be a weighted ball. It could be 2 small dumbbells in each hand. 7, last 3. 8 and 2 more. 9 and last 1. And 10 and relax. Now, depending on your strength, you can go from 10 to 15 to even 20. Then you can modify this movement. You can start doing it with a single leg, or you can add resistance and put the weight on top of your lap. Now let's move on to our super anti-aging exercise number 5. Now for our last exercise, we are going to be doing the farmer's carry. And what I have with me today is 2 5 kilogram dumbbells. You can grab whatever ones you like. The heavier, the better, because what we need to do is we need to load your posture. And what we're going to do now is walk with these dumbbells next to our sides, chest up, keep everything nice and aligned. We don't want you to dump your posture. And all you're going to be doing is walking. That's it. You're just going to walk. And you're going to be walking up and down, nice and slow. And you're going to be keeping everything nice and aligned. And walk for as far and as long as you can. See, somebody just opened the gate for me. And I'm going to turn around and come back. So I've walked approximately 20 meters one way and 20 meters coming back. I can already feel the muscles of my shoulders and upper back, trap muscles working, the core muscles are working, my leg muscles and hip muscles are working. And then I'm going to rest for a few seconds, and then I'm going to go again. And all you do is you just walk using these pair of kettlebells. Now, something else that can also do that's very interesting, if you only have 1 kettlebell, that is perfectly fine. Use 1 kettlebell, keep it in one hand, and try to keep yourself as upright as possible. And keep yourself straight. You do not want to let the kettlebell pull you towards one side. And then we turn, we change hands, and we come back. So what this does, it mimics you carrying heavy bags when you're doing your shopping. And there we go. Farmer's carry, 2 ways, either with 2 weights, 1 in each hand, or a single dumbbell in left or right hand, walking at least 20 or 30 meters one way, 20 or 30 meters back. Repeat this until you can do at least 100 meters. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments down below which of these exercises are your favorite. See you next time.